Welcome to the Group 12 final for Senior Design 2. First, we have the admin demo. This is the Firebase database that contains information of the active devices organized by device ID. We are now registering a new device through the admin portal using the mobile app. First, the admin inputs the name of the study spot as well as the device ID, which is used to locate the device in the Firebase. We also include the location of the study spot, including building name and floor. We are also going to input characteristics of the spot, including the spot type, whether it's individual or group, the capacity of the spot, the number of outlets, and whether or not there is a desktop available. Now we press submit and receive a confirmation message that the device was successfully created, and it is reflected in the Firebase database. As we can see here, the Firebase database reflects exactly what we input into the admin portal of the app. Now that we have registered a new device, we can go back and see a list of our current active devices. We can see that each device tile has information on its location and spot name. Once you click on the device tile, you will be taken to a separate page that contains all of the device's information. You can also modify this information by clicking the Edit button. Here, you can change the characteristics of the device, including the name, device ID, and location, in case the device ever changes locations. Once you have completed your changes, you can press Submit and the changes will automatically be updated on the database. As you can see, all of our changes have been updated under device 003. Now moving on to the live demo. Here we see a college student looking for a study spot. First, he has to sign up on the application. The link will send him to a registration page where he has to enter his credentials, including his full name, his school email address, his phone number, his university name, the university ID, as well as a password. Then he will click the sign up button once he's done. This will send him to a page with his profile information. This is the study spot labeled as table 6 that we will be using for the demonstration. In the corner is our device, which shows as green, which means the spot is available. Here is the main menu of the Study Spot Finder app. Now, the student will select Table 6 from the Study Spot app. Once you click it, it displays the characteristics of the Study Spot Finder device. Here, it still shows as available. Once the Reserve button is clicked, he receives a confirmation message, and a 4-digit key code is generated. Once the user has requested a device, this request will be sent to the Firebase database, which will be read by the device, and it will change to status awaiting confirmation or yellow. Once he closes the first box, he will find his updated table. Once he clicks on it, he can see that the icon has been changed to yellow and the key code has been generated for him, 4443. The student will then travel to the appropriate study spot that he has reserved. Using the 4-digit key code that has been generated for him, he will input this key code into the device located at his study spot. Once the key code is sent, it will be compared to the key code in the Firebase, and if it is correct, the device will show as reserved. The app will also reflect this change, and now the student can begin to work in this study spot. Once the student wishes to release his spot, he will press Release Spot and will receive a confirmation message. The device will also reflect this change by becoming green, and it will also reflect in the application as well. Now, the study spot is back to being available and ready to use with other students. We're now moving on to the integration demo. Here we will see how the Firebase stores user profile information. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will be creating a fake user account under the name of test to see how it is updated in the Firebase. Once all of the information is input in the sign-up form and the sign-up button is pressed, this information will update in the Firebase database. As you can see, all of the new information is the same as what was input under profile information. Now we will show the reservation process with the Firebase database. Here we can see that the status is 1 for table 6 device. It also reflects in the database. We will now select this device and select reserve. Once the user has reserved this spot, the Firebase database will change its status, and the hardware device will read this status update and change to the awaiting reservation status. This will also reflect in the database as status 2. This change in the status will also reflect in the mobile application. We will now demonstrate a successful key code verification. The database reflects the same key code that shows in the mobile application. Once the user inputs the correct key code, it will send this key code to the ESP module, which compares it with the key code in the Firebase database. If it is correct, the device changes to red, and the database status variable changes to 3, reserved. This also reflects in the mobile application. Once the user releases their spot, it sends an update in the Firebase database, and the hardware device reads this change. It becomes green. As you can see, the status in the Firebase database is 1. This change is also reflected in the mobile application. Now we will demonstrate what happens when a user inputs an incorrect key code into the device. Here we can see that the mobile application has generated the key code 4443. The device is still in status 2. Here, the user will input an incorrect key code that does not match up with the device stored in the database. Once the incorrect code is sent to the database and it is compared, it will read back as incorrect, and the status of the device will not change. As you can see in the Firebase database, the status will still remain 2, while the valid variable will remain 0. Thank you very much.